All right, guys, we're back for game number 2 between gillyShark and Stitches Be Crazy. So we saw a pretty intense game in game number 1 between both teams duking it out, going back and forth, back and forth. I mean, we ended the game almost even on kills. I believe it was 10-7, and gillyShark walked away with the win there. That was their map choice, and Stitches Be Crazy has opted to. They actually wanted second map pick, not really first pick. They wanted second map pick. So this is Stitches Be Crazy, their map of choice. So we're going to go and head on over into the draft, and we're going to be taking a look at some action in Infernal Shrines. Now, things have already kicked off here. Got Phoenix, Urel, Zamuro, and Alex Straza banned on out. This is definitely a respect ban on Alex Straza. And additionally, now that they know they play Alex Straza, the Alex Straza on this map is highly, highly effective. She has the dragon. It's even better on this map, Alex Straza, than on the side of or on Cursed Hollow or Cursed Hollow. So by getting rid of Alex Straza, they're killing two birds with one stone. One, they saw how effective she was in the game number 1. Two, two, they remove a healer that is good on this map. Now we once again get Johanna almost immediately picked up here. I'm assuming gillyShark feels very, very strongly about Johanna, that they feel she's the best tank in general on the maps they like to play her. On this map, might be arguably even better than Cursed Hollow because once again, Johanna has good wave clear, which also translates to this objective because her condemn will help clear them up much quicker. Now, the Diablo in Deckard, I definitely like the Diablo in Deckard. Part of the reason Diablo's so potent is due to his synergies that he provides. So I'd like to see Raynor here alongside Diablo because Diablo provides the slows, Deckard provides some slows, and you get a lot of ace in the hole value for Raynor right now. The Blaze is definitely a solid pick, and we're going to see the combination of Kael'thas and Raynor. Now, I think this is one of the better maps too for Kael'thas. If you're going to pick him up, this is really good value for his Flame Strike. We don't, though, have a choice for solo laner. Urel's already been taken off the table. Blaze has been picked up, which means Dahaka is very likely to be the choice here. Now, the Gul'dan is a little bit of an odder pick, but it makes sense since he is a mage and he can be potent. I do feel though that Gul'dan is a much riskier pick. But we're going to see a very odd combination of DPS here on the side of gillyShark. We're going to see Genji and Zeratul. I don't know if I've seen this combination used before in a game because they can both dive in. Zeratul can wormhole in, wormhole out, Warple Blade over, and get onto someone like Kael'thas. In fact, Zeratul and Genji might be able to execute Kael'thas before any reaction from the side of Stitches Be Crazy. If they kill someone off like that, well, the fight might instantly flip into their hands. If there was any momentum for this side of Stitches Be Crazy, they might just hand it over to gillyShark at that point. All right, so we're about to head into game number 2 between gillyShark and Stitches Be Crazy. I think the draft here from gillyShark is interesting to say the least. I'd love to see this executed because it'll be hella spicy. Now, on the other side, I'd love to see if Belalos on his Diablo, if he can get to the Genji and Zeratul, or the Zeratul, because you can't get onto both of them, and stop them before they can do significant damage. Kind of like Old Taunt variant was used in a lot of cases to try and stop Zeratuls or Genjis by basically taunting them when they dive in and then you blow them up. But we're going to head into game number 2 at this moment. We're going to have Koenig on the Blaze. Stark is going to be on that Zeratul. We're going to have Kaimo Tripson on the Stukov. We also have a Ring Around the Rosie going on right now. We got Jinxie Cat on the Johanna. And we got Kagekiri on that Genji with that beautiful skin, as you can all see. And that is going to be a gillyShark. On the other side, we got Belalos on the Diablo, Tekio on the Decker Kane once again. We got Maczilla on the Kel'Thas, GZB 57 on the Dahaka, and finally, we got a cheese on that Jimmy. And that is going to be Stitches Be Crazy. Now, taking a look at what we got the low blow. So this is interesting. This actually makes a lot of sense, in part due to the choice of double dive. The Zeratul dives in, the Genji dives in, and you low blow them with this lurking arm, and all of a sudden, well, they're going down really fast. We also have a Swift as Wind, a Neural Stimpack, the Greater Cleave, and Laws of Hope. Feast on Fear, Man Addict, a Sapphire, Ace in the Hole, and Tissue Regen. The one thing that they are definitely lacking on the side of gillyShark is Wave Clear. Yes, they have a Johanna, but a Kel'Thas, Jimmy, Diablo is, and even good old Decker Kane is significantly more Wave Clear than gillyShark can contend with. They can do this all day and all night. Just rotate back and forth forever and ever. And they're actually going to start up the camp on the side of Stitches Be Crazy down here. In the meantime, gillyShark is going to start up their shamans. The good news is that they picked up their shamans. I've been in plenty of games and seen plenty of games where teams do not pick up their shaman camp almost ever in the game. But this also means that GZB 57 can clear this up prior to the objective starting up. If you pick up the shaman camp right before the actual objective starts, the enemy team has to respond to your shamans. If they do not, well, they'll come knocking on a wall, and they're going to take that wall with them, because the big bad wolf is going to huff and puff and blow your house down. Fortunately, there's no wolf camps here, but that's exactly what they're going to do. So bot has been picked up, mid is evened up in the meantime, and we got Stark rotating on up for GZB. He's pretty close to the wall. He should be able to get out scot-free, but Stark will be able to dish out some damage before they're, well, really start this shrine. And like I said, the better wave clear, they just come on in, clear this up pretty easily. However, they are behind on soap, which is not that much, but it's enough that potentially level 7s could happen during this with enough soak taken by both teams, or gotten by both teams. But it looks like they're both going to focus on the objective entirely. Got GZB on the backside, looking for something. Jinxie going to get a big old condemn, and a nice silence coming on through as well. There we go. There's the dive. There's the charge onto Stark. But Maczilla will be the first blood there. Tekio gets a nice root, but it will not be enough. Kagekiri will jump over to safety, and well, they get themselves a 1-0. So at this point, there's very little that they can do on Stitches Be Crazy. Stitches Be Crazy cannot try to contest 30-7 for this shrine. They just have to give it up, soak, and continue to hope that they scale more than gillyShark. They also have a Diablo. Diablo is a harder hero to deal with early game or play with early game because he is so much less tanky. Additionally, Feast on Fear is entirely reliant on actually having the HP, which means you have to scale. So it's a combination skill. His level ones in general are all basically scaling and make your team that much harder to fight when he has the souls. So it's a double whammy. His level ones are impacted by his souls, and his in general tank ability is impacted by his souls. There's the pull on back. Oh, Stukov! Chymotrypsin is going to be going down, overstepping the bounds in that 5v3. Now, Stark is actually going 1v1 with GZB, but Stark will come on back in and not going to land the cleave. Kakikari coming on into support. Jinxie going to miss the condemn, and GZB going to walk away scot-free. So we got the camps picked up once again. Camps are available in 2 seconds, and we have Diablo finally getting all his souls. So they can be a lot more aggressive. Mana Addict is still not completed with 13 out of 20 available. Or, sorry, picked up. We also have the Colonized Cube here. The Potion of Shielding. So this is not a very common choice, I feel, nowadays. The Potion of Shielding, definitely. Ooh. Chymotrypsin dropping the Lurking Arm. Checking if they're doing the camp, but really you want to check there. There's the charge and the overpower, but no lockdown in time. So a little miscommunication, I feel like there. Tekio should be dropping it almost immediately when Bellolos charges, and then they may have been able to lock him down. But it does deter them from actually trying to knock on that Merc camp and take it for themselves. So Stitches Be Crazy will get that advantage by now getting additional pressure on the map. It won't be a whole hell of a lot, but it will be something. So globe count is now at 16. This is once 20 hits, it becomes a lot harder. We also have the energy roll. Energy roll is definitely, I feel, the way to go. The cooldown reduction to 9 seconds, or by 9 seconds, is insane. If you landed on a Zeratul or Genji, all of a sudden, it makes things infinitely easier for you to survive. You toss it out, they have Diablo charge them, overpower them, and then they have to escape. And by the time it's all said and done, you have your gravity laps ready to go again. Tens will be around the corner for both teams. I'm sure we'll see the VP. There's the VP. We might actually see a Falling Sword here. We'll still get the Blessed Shield. I don't know if we'll get the Dragon Strike. Or sorry, Dragon Blade. Oh, there's the overpowered charge combo into the gravity laps, into the root. Kagekiri will manage to make it out. And once again, the root from Decker Kane just a little too slow in order to lock down a member of gillyShark. And in the meantime, gillyShark is going to make a very, very nice rotation. But they whip everything pretty much onto GZB. GZB's trying to escape, but there's too many members, and he will fall. So they pick up the Shaman camp, steal that away. They do have the camp in the bottom, the siege camp, to help continue delivering pressure and value, because no one is going to clear that up. Additionally, they have Dahaka. Dahaka can come up here and fight. The Blessed Shield is down. Dahaka should be coming on in, and they can still fight for this. This is a great place for Diablo to get some great wall bangs. GZB coming on in on the side, looking for it. They do spot him out, and they're now taking up the superior position here. Koenig trying to get on through. Stark in the backline. There is the VP. Jet Propulsion going to be trying to be lined up, but the silence is going to miss, and Tekio is just obliterated by the lightning breath chewing through the health bars of multiple members of gillyShark, and Bellolos is just putting baby in a corner because he's just body blocking him from here to next year. Jinxie Cat is now on the other side of things, and the silence from Chymotrypsin is not going to be enough, and it's a 2 for 2. So the bunker definitely kept him alive temporarily, but they just got body blocked around on the other side where they took a slew of damage. Tekio, however, was taken out almost immediately. The the Raider is still available. We got Kagekiri coming on in deep. Bellows is getting a rather low. The silence, the root onto multiple members of gillyShark. The Gravity Labs will not land, and they pick it up on the side of gillyShark. And this is really bad now for the side of Stitches Be Crazy, because we got John Cena here ready to go and give the good old alley-oop. And that's what we're talking. Tekio very, very far forward. The Blasted Shield. Old man has been put down like a rabid dog. And gillyShark are going back at it, taking the trades up again. This is essentially a one red paper clip moment with gillyShark. They make a trade, and then they make a better trade, and then they get another better trade, and all of a sudden they're getting themselves ahead compared to their opponents. Sure, gillyShark, lost 2 members, but they had the advantage in terms of this shrine. And when they have that shrine advantage, they're able to complete it still. They go in for it, then they pick up the kills, and bam! They have John Cena to come in with the alley-oop and get them a big old stun, resulting in the kills that really help them get the first 4 to the game. So at this point, we do not have GZB57 soaking top. 3 lanes are being soaked by gillyShark. 1 lane being soaked by Stitches Be Crazy. It is also very dangerous for Stitches Be Crazy to actually soak all the way out here, but at this point, Dahaka should be able to rotate on up to do so safely. This is still a rather safe section over here, but they'll pick up their siege camp on the side of gillyShark, which is going to actually put additional pressure in all the wrong places for Stitches Be Crazy. Stark will go and actually spot out the rotations in case anyone really squishy goes and rotates incorrectly. Now, Stitches Be Crazy has made a very good rotation and a generally safe one. Maxwell is very far forward. Stark is looking for it. There's the VP. The jet propulsion going to be lined up. The X-Strike on top of that. And they've gotten themselves the old man once again. Diablo is going to be put back in the Soul Stone. And gillyShark, they get themselves another 2 kills. Very, very nice setup there by Stark. And this puts a ton of map pressure now on Stitches Be Crazy, who is already falling behind. So, what do you do if your Stitches Be Crazy? You have to go and do 2 things. Look for a bush gank. Have Dahaka soak, and you yourselves need to also try and position in a place where you can get a bush gank alongside of potentially even soaking. You need to think about making a ballsy play, like maybe invading over here, especially if you know where Koenig is right now. Make it a 5v4. A 5v4 is numerically in your odds. Of course, they're now down a talent here, but they did have the window of time to actually try to accomplish that. So we did have a mana addict completed, sitting at 24, and we also have a devastating charge. Now the Stukov build, we also still have a 1 good spread, growing infestation, so it only lasts for 4 seconds now. Virulent reaction, and finally super strain. Now without having 16s, they have to give this up. Fighting at this point a 5v5 16 versus 14 would require perfect execution on the side of Stitches Be Crazy, and I'm not sure we're seeing perfect execution from them this evening. And to be fair, you don't see perfect execution from most teams. Otherwise, if you saw perfect execution, you'd be seeing them in HGC. Now, the key thing here is to not lose multiple members. Really, it's about getting the Punisher over the wall. But here's what they're going to do. If I'm gillyShark, dive. Dive for whoever, dish out the damage. Stark Imo Tripson. They can all go in. There's the VP. They got the sidewall down, and this is exactly what you want to see. The X-Strike on top. They have executed Kael'thas. Stay a while and listen. Is going to keep them locked down temporarily. Isolation going to come on out, but it's going to have no value simultaneously. Kagekiri coming on in onto Belalos. Oh! And the Punisher alongside of Stukov help take down 2 members, and gillyShark are going to walk away with a 2-0 against Stitches Be Crazy. Very nicely executed in an even cleaner game all around from the side of gillyShark. Now, really the goal here was to minimize losses, and Stitches Be Crazy almost maximized the losses, unfortunately. All right, we got the stats to take a look at. We got Koenig, who definitely was topping off those Siege numbers, but GZB and Maxzilla pretty close overall. Hero damage, this was one hell of a low damage game. I mean, these numbers aren't even above 20k. I don't know the last time I've seen something as crazy as this. DPS numbers less than 20,000 across the board. Now, Raynor topped it. Zeratul coming in really close. I mean, all of the damage numbers overall were really close, which is the crazy part. The only numbers that weren't really keeping up were, I suppose, the tanks on Stitches Be Crazy. Yeah, GZB only hitting about 11k, and Diablo only hitting about 10k in total DPS. Finally, healing output. Well, Tripson. Damn, this name is a pain to say. Almost doubling the healing of Tekio. There were several cases where Tekio was just a little too far forward, making him a prime target for gillyShark to, well, ravage in the deep blue sea. And on the tanking side, well, Dahaka and Diablo both tanked almost double what Jinxie and Koenig did. But that's because they also didn't really take as much damage overall, it felt, on the side of gillyShark. And finally, Koenig keeping up that soak alongside of GZB. We're gonna have a short break, see if gillyShark would like to do an interview. If so, we'll have him on here. So it'll just be maybe 30 seconds to a minute.